All right, let's get it in. What up, peeps? Just making a quick video for the YouTube um, on today's price action and the trade I took, and then the three mental trades that I took. Um, I was just watching my old videos the other day, and I noticed I haven't made a video in like 7 months or something. And the way I trade and the amount of knowledge I've accumulated in those past 6 7 months is kind of a lot. So I was like, dang, I should really make another video, and because I also like using it as just a journal. It's nice if I can help anyone and stuff like that that's new to trading. Uh, but it's also nice just to have it as a journal so I can keep going back and being like, oh, I was doing this wrong. This is what I should have been doing this. It's nice to see your progress, because you can get so caught up in the present that you kind of forget to look back and see how much you've really grown in anything that you do. So it's nice to track all that stuff. So let's just get into the levels that I had today and my reasoning and everything. So of course we have all-time high over here, and then for the more recent price action, I saw Leland mark this outside bar in the 50% of this. I've seen him do this in the past too, so I just marked that. I marked our previous high, and then for today I obviously marked our 2 day ago low, our 2 day ago high, our previous day high, and then our previous day low, and that was my levels for today. um, let's go down to the hourly, and sorry if you hear any background noise, my dogs are like barking and shit. But if we go down to the hourly, obviously look at the trend. Lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You could have even marked probably this fib today, and look at, it's kind of exactly where we rejected, which is a little crazy. But I've seen Leland and some other people the past few days, just marking these lows, and we just keep rejecting at the 0.5 here. So now let me, since we have like kind of our levels and our trend established, let's go down onto the 1 minute. So today I did actually wake up a little bit later. Okay, that's not where I took my trade. Oh wait. Shoot, what level did I have here? Hold up. I had a different level here. I forgot which one though. Oh yeah. I had was it this one? I had this day's open mark 2. And then I think on the 1 hour it was a fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken. Hold up. I'm freaking confusing myself. Whatever. So, alright, yeah. Should be good right here. I'm actually just gonna delete that, because I got in calls. Shoot, I don't even remember what freaking level I had marked. Something down in here. But anyway, so starting off the day, we obviously open up in demand. If we mark this previous day low, what we're obviously going to be needing to do is, okay, are buyers going to hold this, or are we going to sell off? We end up opening below and pushing up, so this was kind of just making me think of like, sweeping sell side liquidity for us to, push up. And I actually wasn't up at this point. I let myself sleep in a little because I've been hanging out with some of my buddies that were out of town for like 3 or 4 days, and I really got no sleep at all. But anyway, enough of the chit-chatting. We obviously see we push up, we reclaim, and we kind of start to hold. We kind of make this lower high here, or this higher low, and we kind of start to chop. So as you see, we got a higher high, higher high, higher high. So we kind of have this like ascending pattern, and then we kind of make a higher low here, but then we make like a lower low. So then this is kind of like that outside bar look right here. and then you know, we swept this low, hammered up, we got this inside bar and broke out of this inside bar. So this is probably the entry that I would have liked. I either probably would have taken some profits up there or targeted some of these next levels up here. Let me actually mark that level right there, like maybe this one. You could have also entered on this higher low here. That would have been really good for calls. I think I saw Leland made 100 and some %. I didn't see his entry, but I'm assuming that's probably what he entered on. He probably entered on this sweep here or this higher low. But anyway, I ended up waking up around this time, and oh, I remember what this level is from. This is my bad. It was the previous day's 0.5. So let me get that marked because that is very important. And the reason being for this level being so important is just because Leland made a video in the new Bueller course talking about the inside bar or the outside bar. So in this morning, we sweep liquidity to the downside. We sweep sell side liquidity. We break up, you know, we see a change in structure, and there's going to be two parts that we're going to want to look at here. We're either going to want to look at the reclaim of the previous day low, or yeah, in this instance, I'm not going to go into too much detail because you got to buy the course, but we're going to want to see the sweep of the low of day, which we got, and then we got this higher low. So this is our first point of entry with the outside bar set up on the lower time frame, and the next point of interest is going to be the 0.5 of the previous day. So we break and we retest the 0.5 of the previous day, and now I'm waiting, you know, is structure going to want to continue up and everything like that. So we, you know, we come down, we never, you know, mark this low here, you know, are we going to want to come down and sweep this? We never come down, we end up, you know, pushing here, higher low, higher high, higher low, even though we are wicking, and where I actually ended up entering, you know, I definitely could have taken a trade down here, like maybe on this candle here, because this is a one white soldier. You could have even taken on this one. This one's an engulfing. Even here's an engulfing. You know, there's a lot of entry types, a lot of little entries in here, but I wanted to wait, be patient, see a higher low. So what I waited for is I waited for us to push up, and I wanted to see a like push of this high of day and then a higher low from there, because I was going to target up to the 470.49 level, which is our 2 day ago low. And as you see, we pushed up, came back down, actually touched into this fair value gap here. Got some bullish reactions. This candle was a little bit scary. I entered on this hammer or this wick up from it right here, because I see we touch it, come back up, go down, get another reaction off. 2 candles later we got this outside bar, but I always set my stop below the previous low, so if we were to have this candle come down here and close like that, I'd be out. So on this doji I was really hoping and praying that we wouldn't. And what this actually kind of gives us too is the outside bar look like this. I just noticed this came up like this, lower high, slight lower low, and then we pushed up. So you see, boom, 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 just barely swept it and then pumped up from there. So that's kind of a cool coincidence that I just noticed. But yeah, then we pushed up from here, ended up taking profits on the top of this candle right there for about 20%. Really good trade, really proud of this. So just basic review. Made previous day low, so we swept previous day lows liquidity, sell side liquidity, came up above the 0.5 of the day, or 0.5 of the previous day, you know, held it. This is just also like an 80% entry if we want to go on to like the 5-minute right here. See, pull back, hammers, and we're entering on the higher low off from that. So that's the whole reason for this. So now let's get into, I think it was 2 mental trades. Yeah, I took one here and then I took one, yeah, okay, 2 mental trades. So sorry, I don't have them like marked or anything because I was at work, and I always have my chart up on my phone while I'm working. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but they don't get it. So this one here was actually a loser, just because I was so focused on the 1 minute and I was focused on a continuation up to make this outside bar, so I was very tunnel visioned. And I actually made the right call at first, because I said, we could be sweeping this low and getting an 80% entry, but it's probably, we kind of pushed kind of far below this low, so it'd be better to look for like a higher low like this and then enter off that higher low, because we could also easily lead test this. But for my mental trade, I just entered mentally on the reclaim of this, targeting these highs, targeting previous day high, and then we got this candle here, so I obviously sold on this, like that right there. I could have mentally flipped to puts too. I don't know why I didn't, honestly, but yeah, so enter here. I was just looking for the sell side sweep, but as we can see, we obviously need to wait for that higher low. There's also some more in-depth breakdown, but here we can also mark we came up and actually filled this fair value gap, and then we got this engulfing candle, so this would have been a really good candle to enter on, and then you could have taken off at the 0.5 of the day down here. That's like a really, really good trade. That's like 100 and some percent right there. On 0 days, 1 day is probably maybe like 30-40%, but that's like super, super good. But yeah, just took a slight L, and it's pretty self-explanatory too, and the biggest hint was obviously the 15-minute, just because let's look at the candles. So we pop up here, very bullish candle, we kind of get a wick down here, but it's like, okay, this could 3-bar us, but then the next bar we get an inside bar, so it's kind of like, ooh, are we seeing a shift in sentiment? Then in this next one we get a 1 black crow, and then the following candle we break down, so it was obviously showing a setup for a bearish reversal. And then on the 15 too, we see a like shooting star type of thing here. We got a big wick right there. So I should have been leaning bearish, but I was just too zoomed in on the 1 minute. Even though my analysis wasn't really wrong, we could have pumped up from there, but I just wasn't really paying attention to the higher time frames. And this also is a pretty key area, because this is the 2-day ago low, which we were also seeing a lot of struggle against the other day, you could see. So yeah, definitely should have been bearish there, just because of the 5 minute, what the candles were telling us, and this was obviously a clear structure change here. So yeah, I definitely wish I noticed that and I took that live, because this is honestly like a beautiful lead test. But where I ended up taking my other mental trade was, okay, well, I knew the 0.5 of the previous day was a pretty key point, because we took calls off of it earlier. So I'm looking to see, do we come back down, build base for another leg up, or do we, break below it and start to retest and push off? And what we did was we came down, kind of made this lower high here, never came up and swept it, but I was kind of paying attention to this high, and we actually kept coming up and rejecting it. We slightly swept it there, as you can see, with an engulfing candle. It was almost an outside bar. But that is engulfing, because it's engulfing the previous body's body, but it's not fully, trading outside of it. But yeah, so we come up, make this lower high against the 0.5 at the previous day, reject with an outside bar, hold this low, come back up, reject it again, and then we come back up, and this is where I actually ended up entering off of, is we came up, broke below, and we got a lower high off of the previous day 0.5 on this candle right here, and it's a 1 black crow, so entered off of that, and definitely could have taken some profits like right here, or like current day open, but I wanted to hold all the way down to the previous day low, because we got to tell the story of the chart. We came up, took control of the previous day 0.5, held it, came up to the 2-day ago low, instantly rejected with a lead test, a pretty hard rejection too. Now we're under the previous day 0.5, rejecting it with multiple lower highs. So I felt like it was pretty likely we would draw back to previous day low and these lows right down here. So took puts here. This was a little scary with these hammers, but what I was just trying to pay attention to was the lower high, which, look at, tried popping, inside bar, break down, another inside bar, break down, and then we flushed down. So that could have even been a good entry there too, but I entered it up there. I feel like that's the better one. But yeah, rest of the day, you know, really didn't look at charts. I saw like Knox and stuff take a lower high here, which was good. If we zoom in on the one, you know, you have a nice like lower high right down in here. Could have taken. Usually I honestly kind of have a hard time taking this because there's no like real clear structure. Like we're clearly pulling back, but maybe it'd be better to like take it on the 5 or something, like on this candle, because all the rest of these are just like dojis. Take that down to the previous day low too. I liked this one, and this was actually an inside buy breakdown. But yeah, look at these bearish candles here, even on the 15. Inside bar continuation. But on the daily for the next day, I can delete all this now. But here, let me kind of mark these levels because this is what I'm going to be watching. Be watching all that. But as we can see on the daily, you know, in the morning we tried sweeping sell side. Ended up pushing up, rejecting these lows, big huge wick down, and actually ended up breaking down below. Also this outside bar here. So if anything tomorrow, the biggest thing I'm going to try to see is, are we going to you know, sweep liquidity here and end up, you know, popping up, or are we going to continue down and break previous day low and hold below the bottom of this outside bar? So I'm going to be looking for calls like this, like that, even like a retest of the previous day 0.5, or are we going to break below like this and see more downward continuation? But yeah, that's all for today.